feels good to be home, elves. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Marie here, and I'm finally home. I'm rested because your girl went all the way to Rhode Island. Yes, I went to Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island to be exact. I attended a wedding. Yes, fall wedding season is truly upon us, everyone, and it is an entire mood. And most importantly, I want to talk about the fragrances that did what needed to be done while in Rhode Island. So if you're interested to see what fragrances did what and what was worn where, stay tuned. But before we get into that TLs, you know what we must do first. Lipstick of the day, everyone. We are nude. This is the morning time for me. So fresh face is what you're getting with a little lipstick for the sake of the video. This is MAC Taupe. Oldie but goodie. It's a matte texture lip color, brownie nude color. We here for it. It'll be in the description box as always for y'all to check out. Next up, we have fragrance of the day. And again, it's the morning. I'm relaxed. I actually have some laundry going. So what better than a laundry type of scent? And this is from Clean Reserve. This is warm cotton. This literally smells like dryer sheets, but it works for a morning clean effect. Here for it. Clean Reserve warm cotton is your fragrance of the day. Now let's get into the fragrances I did what needed to be done while in Rhode Island. Oh, and by the way, there's a bonus. I did some fragrance shopping too. So first thing, my travel scent was, because your girl had a full day of traveling because I had to, again, travel from Nashville. As you all know, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Travel from Nashville, I had to get on a flight in Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, connect up to Providence, Rhode Island, which was my final destination. Going and coming, my travel scent. This did what needed to be done. This is Bond No. 9's Tribeca. And the more I wear this scent, the more I have more uses for it, because this is proving to be a very easy, versatile scent. I've done a full dedicated review on this fragrance already on the channel. I'll have it linked up top for you to check out at your own leisure, but it's just this airy cacao hazelnut, just divineness. And it's so pleasant that I figured, why not try it out as a travel scent for this trip? And I did, and it was very pleasant. It didn't make nobody mad because my flights were definitely full. Because Nashville, let me tell you something, a lot of people travel here all the time, so there's more and more people here. Atlanta is a given, it's just full. So yeah, you always want to wear something when you're traveling that's going to smell nice, but this isn't heavy hitter time. Leave the Tom Ford Black Orchid at the house, not for the plane. You can wear it at the event, but don't wear something that strong on a plane, that type of thing. So Tribeca, because it has an airy nature, it was the perfect travel scent, and I liked it. It also did not get on my nerves, so that's also a given. So the daytime I would wear, because it was the Northeast and it was actually pretty warm there, you all. It was in the 60s and 70s, which surprised me. But hey, but it was cloudy and kind of rainy, so just so quintessential. And it was beautiful there, by the way. Providence, Rhode Island is an entire mood, and I so encourage more people to check it out. It was the mood I didn't know I needed. Very thankful about visiting. But the daytime fragrance, you all, that I was rocking, and this just totally meshed with the leaves and all that. Oh, it's beautiful. This is Joe Malone's Myrrh and Tonka. This is Myrrh and Tonka. This is, of course, from Joe Malone, the Black Bottle line, aka the Cologne Intense line. I also have a full dedicated review of this fragrance up on the channel. It'll be up top so you can talk about it. Check it out. But this is one of my absolute favorite cold weather scents, even though it wasn't actually cold, but it's still November and it was wet. So this just really went well. I went to brunch with one of my sorority sisters. We had coffee and chai and all that. And when I say Myrrh and Tonka, just totally fit the mood of that. You just sit in a quaint coffee shop and overlooking the city, and it's right in the middle of a lot of colleges, so there's a lot of college kids walking around. This just totally went with the mood. Myrrh and Tonka, like, I know I got you in the dead of winter last winter, but I am already falling in love with you now as we are headed towards the end of fall this year and going into winter, you all. This scent, it's really, really nice. I still stand on this as a daytime scent for me. It's very unisex and it's cozy. It's very, very cozy. I like this. So I know you all really want to know, okay, girl, now what did you wear to the actual wedding? And that's the main event. That was the reason I went to the wedding of a dear childhood as well as college friend. So it was a very good time. Had to be there to celebrate. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Had so much fun with all my college friends as well as back home friends too. It was a good mix. But this was a formal attire type of wedding, meaning tuxedos and full-length gowns. If you all watch my Instagram story, you all know what I mean. Your girl had on all black. And the scent I decided to go with, normally I would have reached for Oud Satin Mood, which I did pack, but I also brought something else with me that is newer to my collection. And I've been saying this is a night on the town, going out, we finna shut it down type situation. And yeah, that's the one we went with. And the fragrance I am talking about, elves, is B9 from Bond Number 9. This very deep purple bottle. Let me tell y'all something. My assessment of this fragrance and the occasion that I felt it was meant for a special event and stepping out was correct. This fragrance did what it needed to be done. This got compliments. It turned heads. It was giving. Like, I will have to do a dedicated review on this fragrance. Very simple, y'all. This is just rich, deep, but it still has a slight sweetness to it that it's like a magnet to people. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you smell so good. Everyone wanted to hug me. So you all, B9 did everything. I'm so pleased with this. I love when a plan comes together, when you think a fragrance is gonna give you a certain aesthetic, a certain mood, and it actually happens. B9 did exactly that. Oh, this is so good. And I also have to say, this lasted the entirety of the wedding, going into the reception and coming back to my room midnight. I could still smell B9. So this is a heavy hitter that is sexy and gets the job done. So I'm basically giving a pre-dedicated review right now, but you all, I love this scent. I'm gonna be wearing this especially more now that it's starting to get cooler, finally. Y'all, get your nose on B9, because the other scents you all have heard me talk about before on the channel. B9, of course, I recently hauled. Y'all, get your nose on B9. This is slept on. Slept on. This is evening. This is sexy. We talking about holiday parties, New Year's Eve, and things coming up. This is it. B9 for Bond Number 9. Yes. So the trip was short. It was only 2 days. And the other thing that I like about traveling, especially when you get to airports that are bigger, say like Atlanta's airport, they have duty-free shops. And if you know, duty-free shopping is the wave. Duty-free, you can find some gems. Sometimes, most of the time, things are cheaper. A lot of times things at the airport are on discount because, of course, it's not the same type of traffic. It's a different type of shopper when you're traveling. This is something, you all, that has been on my wish list. And I told myself if I saw it ever in person, because it's extremely hard to find in person, I would get it. And things truly happen just for a reason. My gate got changed at the last minute. I had a very tight layover and I had to get on a train to get over to my new terminal. Your girl was hauling you know what to get there. I'm just saying. And luckily, by my gate changing, it put me right next to a duty-free shop that had a whole lot of fragrances. Yes. And my plane was a little delayed with boarding, so I actually wasn't late. I could breathe. So your girl went on in a duty-free shop, and this was a wish list item I had talked about before, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this scent, but it's not easy to get, or at least it's not as easy as it used to be to get. You can still get it, it's not discontinued, but I just have to emphasize it's not as available as, say, its original version. And the fragrance I found at the duty-free shop right before I got on my plane to come on back to Nashville, you all, Mon Guerlain's Intense. Yes, Mon Guerlain Intense. And this is the big bottle, y'all. So let me give you another backstory on this scent. As you all remember, when I went to New York, like 2 weeks ago, I'm always traveling and I'm still not done, by the way. We'll talk about that later. I went to the actual Guerlain, and the sales associate, we talked about, I asked her about Guerlain Intense while I was in there trying out and sampling, Cherry Oud and of course, what I purchased, the Angelique Noir. And she said, I don't even have a tester of Guerlain Intense. She said, no, we still make it. She said, we can never keep it in. She said, as soon as we get a shipment of the Guerlain Intense, it immediately sells out. She's like, I have a few bottles here. She said, but they don't last. She said, just so you know. But of course, I chose to go with the Angelique Noir because to me, that was just more symbolic of my trip. And I said, okay, I'll come back and get the Mongerlon Intense at some other time. You all, this scent has been living rent-free in my head ever since, and especially now knowing that I wasn't crazy, I'm like, why can't I find this scent? You all, Atlanta Duty Free had it, and it's the big bottle. And normally I don't do big bottles, but I had to make an exception to the rule because of how hard this is to get these days. And check it out, you all. This is Mongerlon Intense, and let me tell you something. I like it, but I need to wear it before I really talk about this scent more. But I will say, off of initial spray and initial smell, I like this, and I see why it's sold out, and that's all I can say right now. I totally see it already. But yeah, so all in all, made my purchase. You should have saw me trying to read and make sure that I got the correct one, because they had the other Mongerlons. I was like, I do not have time to be buying the wrong thing, and then I done got back home and I can't return this. But yes, I picked up a bottle of Mongerlon Intense literally on my way back home, and I could not be happier because now it has a scent memory tied to the wedding, of course, Rhode Island, and coming back home. So again, things happen for a reason. Yay for the gate change. Woo! Got a wish list item, and I will be definitely wearing it as we go into this holiday season for sure. So Els, that wraps up my quick rundown of the fragrances I wore while I was in Rhode Island at this lovely wedding. Such a good time. I cannot emphasize enough, you all, the belle of the ball was definitely B9. Jess, if you take nothing away from this video, B9, everything. So as always, Els, if you're digging me, subscribe to the channel. If you're here for the content, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not here for any of it, that's okay. It's still wedding season and love is in the air. But as always, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye, Els.